Hey, okay, we're starting. So I figured that what I'm doing right now is probably like too boring to stream for real. So I'm going to stream it on my like behind the scenes channel. And that one I usually use for this. So it's I have this kind of like over the shoulder view, and I can work on my work stuff and don't have to worry about it being kind of like available or open source or whatnot. Not going to do it today. So today I'm going to use my regular screen because all of this is open, and but I'm still going to turn on some music. So I think that's the plan. And yeah, otherwise I think we're fine to start. And I guess a bit on what I did. So oh yeah, I figured out how to use air and stuff. Still need to rename everything and make better structure. I'm going to explain this. So first of all, I guess I looked into more other projects. So like I looked into Go components. I looked into Kyoto. Found yeah, I was looking into like all the age functions, but I don't know how well that kind of like translates in Go. So I found Vext, which is I think like Wasm framework, and I was just curious how they do. I have it here. I think there's like an example. Don't remember which one. They're like so complicated because it's like MVC and all that stuff. So they have this thing. So you pass a page, which is like, where do you use it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm trying to understand like API design wise how everything should look like. And so far, like all the examples that I look at, it's more questions than answers. So like, why do you pass P here, right? If it's not used, what's the point? But all the components are defined like that, and they need to return like this struct. Or I guess if it's a star, maybe they return multiple structs or pointer to a struct. Who knows? Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what is the better pattern to author your components. I think I decided that I should just create a low level pattern right now, and maybe later I can use something. I think I'm missing one. There was another one that was doing kind of like JSX. Yeah, this one. So it was using JSX syntax, and it was compiling that to that vecti whatever stuff, which yeah, that could be like a after after I have everything working. But it's an interesting thing to look into. And yeah, that's probably it for now, and let's just start music, and let's just start working on it. Yeah, I don't know if the music is too loud. So this is the pattern from components, I think. Hi. I don't remember. Do you code and go? You prefer Rust? Yeah. I haven't touched Rust too much. I did this stream where I just like used Copilot and ChatGPT just to see how much I can code in Zig and Rust, and they lost pretty bad. They don't know their syntax. Yeah. So syntax is, it's like it's not. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but the syntax is not, doesn't lay too good on this idea of, I don't know, closure. So the good thing about like dynamic languages is that you can easily kind of like write stuff like that and like all of it going to make sense. And I don't know how I can do that in Go. So let's go to so I'm looking for some like style or something. You need first allocate. What's that? Maybe like, yeah. So you can easily put all of this stuff, right? And in TypeScript, you can actually add types to all of this stuff. And in Go, it's kind of like none of that. Yeah, the memory management of Rust, yeah. I don't know if that's going to actually like affect my stuff, but yeah. I was just thinking about Go because when I was looking for a job, there was like a few things of like, oh, and we use Go on the backend. So I was like, oh, I haven't touched Go in like years. So I should kind of like revisit that a bit. And I figured for this project, like Go React Server components, using Go is actually going to be a good thing because it's like it's performant enough, it's simple enough. So it's like I don't want it to be Rust because it's like who's going to use Rust? I don't want it to be like a camel because who's going to use a camel, right? And it would be fun to do it in Elixir, but I think Elixir is not kind of like performant enough for what I'm trying to do. And I think with Go, I'll probably have more fun doing some web stuff. So like ESLint or maybe even some kind of like SSR with like running Dino or whatnot, kind of like embedded, which is probably going to be the easier in Rust, the embedded stuff. But who knows? Or in Zig. Okay, so you doubt what part about performance? PHP? You mean in performance? Let me show this thing. I found this benchmark. So this is like a really hello world where they just do request and like a different amount of bytes. So return me like text of 100 bytes, return me a text of like kilobyte, return me a text of like, so it's really how do I say it? it's really simple. There's like no frameworks or anything, right? It's just like how fast can you send bytes over the WebSocket? Oh, not WebSocket, like TCP socket, right? And PHP is like is the number one, right? And the funny thing about like this JavaScript is actually, I heard about PHP framework that has like basically like embedded C++ stuff, and I was expecting this to be that, but it's like it's just PHP framework, and it does kind of like sizable amount of stuff. So this JavaScript is actually like written like that. It's like a C++ thing that you just like talk to from JavaScript. And yeah, so Rust is kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So number 7 is Rust. Yeah, so it's not that. I heard about something like that. Yeah, so, and stuff like Elixir or whatever, you won't even see it. Yeah, so you can filter frameworks. So like Python, what is it? Like Elixir and Rust and Go. Yeah, so Rust, a lot of stuff is Go, a lot of stuff is Rust, a lot of stuff is Go, a lot of stuff is Go. I was like, hey, the first Elixir. Yeah, so those are kind of like my options that I was thinking about. Yeah, where's the Python starts? Yeah, so Python is here, which is like 4 times slower than the NIM version. Yeah, 5 times slower. Yeah, and I don't want to use JavaScript because it's like, what's the point? I'm trying to show that you can do it without JavaScript. Yeah, and a bit of hype of HTMX and Go right now. So I think that's the best time to monetize on that hype. Yeah, but there's so little hand holding for Go. When you go to any project, I wonder what the OM is. This is how it all depends. Yeah, and you have like examples. So if you go to any like Go project, yeah, so this is like, I think the first one that has at least like a way to start it. Most of them are just like, hey, you've written this thing. Yeah, this one also has like some instructions, but like a lot of them just like, we wrote something in Go. I hope you know Go, otherwise you're like not getting how it works. Yeah, so the best thing that goes for JavaScript compared to Go is that you can use Edge, right? So Golang, Edge. What are they doing? Fastly. What is Fastly? So maybe there is something like that in Go. Rust, JavaScript, and Go. Yeah. Interesting. So what is has smaller binaries? Go, yeah. I mean, Rust is probably pretty small as well, right? I haven't actually looked at the size of the binaries, but yeah. So I'm guessing this is probably going to be true for most of the stuff. Like you can do some of those, but not like Python or whatnot. Cloudflare, yeah. I only played with Dino deploying. I'm assuming that Cloudflare is kind of like as good as that, but I never touched it. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of like the reason for Go. I might look into Rust later, but I don't know how much I'm getting from that, right? Someone in the last streams asked like, "Hey, why are you doing Go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, as long as I'm getting some speed that is like 10 times more than Next.js, I don't care." And I played a bit with it, and this is probably going to be like pretty easy to hit. I'm sure Bun or something is going to be like 10 times faster as well, but trying to cover that we hate JavaScript market a bit. Okay, so actually let me pause the music a bit. Since you all know Go, so this is what I'm trying to figure out now. So I'm using, I'm kind of like looking at a solid H function. So it's like instead of creating like JSX, you create Hyperscript stuff. And the syntax that they have is that it's like H, name of the tag or the component, then it's props, and after that, like everything is children. Which a lot of people kind of like familiar with that. There is, of course, this there is, of course, that HTML like tag templates and all that stuff. Like we're not touching that. So just like H function. So this is like the simplest component that I'm thinking about, right? So you have a component that can return a div, and you have a second component that can call that first component. So the first problem that I have with this is how do I pass props? So let's say I want to say that count is 5, right? So I can't do that. This is like this is like not a syntax that they use. So it has to be like map string this, and so it has to be string. So now I could say that it's like a number, int any. Yeah, any is good. Does Go have classes? Not really. Currying. Do they have currying? Well, kinda. Like a function can return a function, right? So I can say that this is a function and it returns this. So it has to be component here. Yeah, something like that. Am I using the wrong syntax? So it's function, this is the argument, this is the return, and this is what it returns. So it looks right. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, yeah. So it should be like the return was wrong. So the signature was wrong here. So you can do something like this. Yeah. So switch match. Yeah. So that's not the part that I'm asking right now. So let's go back to like this. So this is how you can imagine that this is like JSX, that is like my component count 5, right? So this is like much more compact way of writing it. And I saw some people do something like this. So some of them do this. So they make a my component a function, and they will just like pass this. And as long as my component, how do I say it? So this is fine. The problem with this that you're calling it right away. In this one, you can do something with it, theoretically speaking. Like you can kind of like inspect it and change props before rendering, add like a key or something. I don't know. Yeah. So, but this will call stuff, and I actually seen people that do kind of like this. So when they call this component, they already say, "Hey, component, like turn yourself into a string," and this is the file that you write, or like socket or whatnot. It seems like not the API that I want. So the other thing about like this thing like not being compact and not being type safe. So what I saw as well is people would do something like this. So they would say, I don't know, something like attribute, and then the those are just the arguments. So let's imagine that I have some attribute function, and this attribute function takes like this. But then if I have more than one attribute, what do I do? Because I saw some of them do something like that. So they do like class, and then this is like a class, right? But if I'm sending a count, it's like it's just a prompt for my thing, for my component. I presumably say that this component can have a count, and if I say count integer, right, it's much easier to do this type safe stuff, right? If I use this syntax, if I just call this function with this argument. And so I think there are basically like two. I think there is two problems that I'm trying to solve, and there is like higher level API and lower level API. So this is probably higher level API. So this is API where you kind of like you author it like that, but it should generate something. So like, yeah, my component takes account an integer and it does something like this. So this is the API that kind of like framework works with. But if you want to, in your own code to use like JSX or like this syntax or that syntax, that's kind of like your problem. The biggest thing that I don't understand is that in one of the frameworks that I was looking at, don't know how to find it now. Yeah, they would call stuff with this kind of like page object, and I don't know where they use it. So they will pass this thing, but like when do you use it? So which this one. So page view. Okay, so you have page here, and it's like, what is going to happen if I just remove it? Seems like nothing. So like, why do you pass it? Why does it have to be this API? If you want the type safety, would a builder pattern work? With count. It's like a context. Could be. Okay, I'm not sure how builder API helps here. I just want to show like how H function is implemented. So everything is any. This is like the first thing, right? So tag can be any because tag could be a string or it could be a function. Props are any because who knows what kind of props you're passing, and children are any because who knows what children you are passing. I I should probably make children narrower because children. Yeah, I guess if you're doing like a render prop. Yeah, I'm trying to understand because in React there is no difference between children and props. So children is just like a children prop, but in H function in solid there is actually a difference, but it's not there in JSX function. Okay, so this is the H function that I have that is kind of like H solid. In React, children would be just like props children. And can I call? Right, but this means that if with solid I can do this, if I'm going to do that in H, I have to do map string. Okay, I'm using the wrong syntax. Map string. Yeah, any children. Hello. And I don't know about you, but this is like super ugly. There's no way no one this is no way anyone would write something like that. And especially if you have like multiple children. It's even uglier. Oh. Going around is fun. Yeah. So now, but I still have the ugly syntax for props. So if this is not children, but a footer, right? So it's like a custom thing. I wonder if there should be like a better syntax for that. And it could be like a function, something like that. So it's like attribute. And maybe then I can have multiple attributes. So a footer, a header, and then everything else is children. Because I'm still doing all of this, how do I say it? Like manual type checking. Maybe all of this is fine. So all of these names confuse. Okay, so what's confusing about it? So the big question is like, which one would I like to write? This or map string any footer header. Yeah. So because this a function, it could just return this. Or it could do something. It can have some kind of like type, return type, so that I can check if this is attribute. If it's not an attribute, it's a children. This allows me to actually do this, right? So like just do children right away if you don't have props, because otherwise I have to do this nil thing. And the stupidest part is that I can't have just a div. Like it will error out. It will have to have a nil. So I don't know. I was like thinking about all of this stuff, and I don't know go enough to have any kind of like intuition on what is the like the proper way, or I don't know, like a way that people are expecting. Okay, so you think Go is great for functional? I think there are different people have different opinions of what is functional. It's the same way of like arguing with Angular people about like what is declarative, because they think like React.js is declarative, right? So there is a lot of that, like the functional programming. A lot of people think about it in terms of like types and all that stuff, like Haskell and friends. I came to functional programming to Elixir, which doesn't have any types. So for me, it's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah. Yeah. In some funny sense, functional, it just means like you don't have loops, right? As long as you don't have loops, it's a functional programming for me. Yeah. Yeah, back in the day, like function returning a function wasn't a thing. So everything that was returning a function was automatically functional. Yeah. Yeah. And actually, like about loops and stuff, one of the things that you have to solve is that you have to do something like return age diff that has uh, uh, that sometimes has hello, right? So it's like is odd, hello, even, right? So like how do you write that in Go? What's the right way of doing it? Is it if? Is that how you write it? I have no idea. Expected operand. So I saw that some people do um, like if function and it works like that, which is maybe better. Yeah, thanks for saying that Go is not the greatest language. I'm starting to feel that myself. Okay, so let's turn on music and let's just think about it. uh,
As I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door, I saw myself rise with the water. They thought they could keep me down, hold their breath and watch me drown, but all they did was push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day, we'll stay until it's over, till the world's out of sight. We will stand, we will fight, it's not over till it's over. Through the nights in the rain, through the time.
okay, send me some code. Okay, so div is a struct. Children. Is that array? Should it have like this instead? Yeah, I see. Okay. Speaking of ChatGPT. Yeah, I have. I think there was rumors that like GPT-4 is now not as good as it was initially. I don't know. Yeah, it turns out this way. It turns out like anything that I'm thinking about is like, yeah, just use any. I wanted this, use any. What about this? Use any.
Burns my skin. How could love wear so thin?
Yeah, speaking of generated articles,
I'm sinking in the hollow.
so I have Dev 2,
Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow.
and all of my articles there are written with ChatGPT. And like people liked it. It's like getting likes or whatever. Interesting pairs. Yeah, doesn't sound fun. Probably more efficient though. You have to have our
I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, we won't be alone.
yo. I haven't committed in like 2 days. I need to figure out stuff that I can kind of like stop on. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how much I actually need to invest into like making all of this nice. Like I can probably get away from it with it just like doing everything manually with just like, here's the component, right? But it's just a fun kind of like challenge of like, how would you do that? Yeah, I've seen something like that. The fun part is that there isn't going to be any kind of like add child like in the runtime. It's all going to be just strings, right? But I think I understand what you mean with like builder pattern. And I haven't even implemented the rendering for it. Maybe I should. Yeah. So I want to be able to write h div. I want to be able to write h div ad. I want to be able to h div class 2. I want to be able to write h div hello. And then I want to be able to write h my component hello. And I want to be able to write my component p test flow. hdiv set id and class. Might be more performance instruct. Yeah, I can see what you said. Yeah, and h div p style color red. Yeah, the question is, do I do class do this or do I do this? It's basically the question of design, right? Which one do I like more? Oops. Yeah. And the biggest question is like, what is happening inside of my component? So if I create my component, what is the type? It's possible that it takes component, which is like itself, and it returns like a primitive component. And like, how does it get props? I can do something like this. And then I can do props children, right? Because for a simple case, that means that I can oh, I think I now understand why they do that stuff. When they add this page view probably has render info like interface or something. Or it doesn't. Okay, now I'm back to not understanding why they do it. Yeah, so I'm thinking if I have some kind of like star FC, right? Like functional component in React. So it's like if I do something like this, okay, this name should be different. Then it's like render. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. Okay. Yeah, I think the point is that I can do this, and if my thing ignores props and children, it's just a div. And maybe I have like overload where I can have both, like this one and this one. As long as it returns the component. And if I don't want to use h function and I just want to use my component and just pass hello, then if my component is just a function that returns a component, right? So I can do both. I can use h or I can do function. So h is when or if we have JSX kind of like JSX syntax, and if we don't, we can always use that. So this is kind of like what I'm thinking so far. The biggest question is probably like this. Because can I do, if I have this, can I do hello? Right? Can I do something like this? And again, can I do like map string any? Yeah, can I do this? How would it know which one of them are props? I can do if the first one is an object. I didn't think it can. Yeah. So it's a question like what is more special, children or props? If I disable this syntax and I always make you use b, oh, but it could be some kind of like struct, right? So it could be like props. Yeah. Yeah, can I create a custom map? Golang create type my map for map string any. Right? So if it's props, okay, I broke my syntax everywhere, so it's like it doesn't work, but I can just create a props. And can I do this on that type? That's basically what I need. Is it like a does this type has some kind of like tag so I can know, or does it have to be like a new something? Okay, so let's start compiling stuff. Like nothing compiles right now, so let's get back to compiling. So line 40 something. So this is where we started our stuff. Commit everything out. So now, yeah, confused children. Yeah, so it would be cool if children and props are separate. So we're going to say that we have a tag and we have rest, which is any. So props is okay, children is an array. How do I create empty array? Rest. Okay. What about okay, nil. Okay, does it compile? Okay, tests. Okay, let's get rid of tests. Missing return. Okay, so what was the return? Okay, so just a component. Okay. Okay, it compiles. It has like a panic or a crash or whatever because of not nil, but we will get there. So where did it fail? So this one works, this one. Okay, so let's do this. Still panic. Let's do this. Still panic. Okay, I'm confused. Did it crash it or something? Okay, I think I crashed it. Oh no, it was just like wrong. Okay, so we can compile stuff. So let's start. So this is our thing. So what is our props? String. Okay, it has to be string here. Okay. So props is an empty map. Okay. Does it actually turn it into a string? Okay, it doesn't. I was worried there. Yeah, so I can make it any, and let's make it string any. Comparing uncomparable type. Yeah, that's fun. So I can compare. I can do types though, right? Dot type. So I can do. I can do props dot type. Will that work? Cannot use outside of reach. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to use that. So, yeah, cannot compare types. That's fine. Comparable types. That's interesting. Okay, so our props are empty map, and our children. Our children is Neil hello. So I'm guessing this is the Neil. So if I skip this Neil, it's just hello. Okay. Okay, so it's an array of string array. How do I write it? Array with one string. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't know that they write arrays. Like that. Okay. Expected hello, but got hello. I wonder if that's because it's like a different string. So if I do s equals hello, and then I use s here and s here. Yeah, now it's the same string, but different array. Now, if this s is string of hello, and I pass s here, okay, am I passing it wrong? I forgot how to do that. How do I spread? How do I spread arguments? Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Now, so I have this. So I have this. And if I take 0 children and I compare it to hello. Okay, works. And children 1 is nil, I guess. I can't access it, but maybe it's like len. Probably like len, like that. Yeah. Okay. So this is fine. Now, how do we compare props? So what do we do as props? So props right now is an empty map. So what is the len of empty map, I guess? It's 0. Yeah, okay. So test 1 child. So now I do test no children. Okay, can't access this anymore, and this is 0 now. Okay. This is, by the way, probably like the most amount of tests I wrote in like last 2 years. Okay, so now test no children with props. So the idea is that I have my div and I want to pass props, something like that. Yeah, so now the question is like where the props come from. And they come from the same place where age comes. So we say type props is mapped to string to any. And so what's crashing? So 63. So children. Okay, so used it as children, which is not what I want, but it's fine. Yeah, because I want to go through children and put everything that is not props in the children array. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so right. So the question is, how do I check types? So if I go to age and I just arrange rest. Did that have you write it? Doesn't seem like you write it like that. Print every item in rest. Okay, 4. Okay. Okay, I think I broke you. Now you will try to figure out how to do it. Yeah. So now the question is like, can I do something like this? Can I do switch child? I mean, not child, but like item type is item type, and then in case of default printed. Okay. Yeah, so I have okay, still don't understand how the type thing works. So I can print this if I do this. H props. Yeah, it is H props. This is so cool. Yeah, so it is H props right now. So if I just create a map of string any, yeah, it's going to be different. Yeah, so it is a name type. Okay, cool. Yeah, so now when I'm switching, I can case props and I can I don't know, hello. Yeah, cool. So the idea is that I can create an array props, not array, map, I guess. Yeah, I can create map props, and in case of props, I just do props append, not item type, but item. Okay, feel like this is not the way that you write the props. Okay, so it takes slice and then it adds, yeah, isn't that? Oh, interesting. Okay, so if I'm talking about adding it to array, so it's more like a set. So it's like props e value. Okay. Let's say that that's how it works. I need to merge them, I guess. Props equals merge. Yeah, something like that. There's no merge. Going merge map. Okay, there is no built-in way. Okay. So we range over item. Cannot range. Yeah, so we know that it's props now. So we do props kv. Okay. Okay. So our test don't, okay. Still show props empty here. But now we'll try to props here. Yep. So we got it. So what is our first prop? It's okay, wrong syntax. Okay, so I guess style. So our style is color red. Okay, so the problem is that we don't remove it from children yet, and that's what we should do. So the idea is that take rest, remove item. Okay, there's no okay. Okay. Going split array into two arrays based on filter. Okay, so good, bad, push, push. Okay. I guess it's not the worst way of doing it. Okay, so let's say children is this. Then if it's this, then this. If not, we added children. And instead of using rest, we do children. There's no map filter. Yeah, that's who said that Go was functional, right?
You think you're going crazy? Look up, there's a new life waiting.
Okay, I'm happy so far. So it has functions, sure. Or there's another way to think about it. Maybe it has procedures. So this is cool. So we were able to do this props thing, and we can actually do like two of them at the same time, right? So it will pick whatever the right one should be. So what I don't like about this is I'm allocating those arrays maybe like when I don't need them. But if I'm not allocating them, if I put nil here, it will allocate them anywhere when creating this component. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, so this is what we do. So we do component here. Oh, well. Yeah, tag type has to be string. Yeah, this is wrong, and I can't fix this.
Yes, you've had it quite tough, always having bad luck. You think you're going
Yeah, I can say
there's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in
tag type is an empty string.
the wrong hand.
Then I can say that tag type is this. But if tag is a function, I can call this function. But also if it's a function that takes a component, I can call the component. Yeah. So now I go to test custom component. So the idea is that I define a function that is my component, and it returns a div. Okay. Expected. Is not used. Okay, it's not used, it's fine. So now I pass this. I pass this here, and maybe I even print what I see. Okay. Okay. What about tag type? Empty, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So I think it works. So it's a div with no props. Okay, I don't know how to read that. So it's a div with no props. This is slightly concerning. Okay, so I have to recast props again. because if I do style, see props, style. Yeah, so it passes style, but if I just pass it as is, yeah, it loses the type information. Loses the type information. Why would it lose the type information? Right? So, switch. Is there a print line that does printf? Declaration found. What declaration? Okay, so what's happening? Okay, messing up the syntax again. Okay, so what's wrong? C props is not an interface. Okay, interesting. So it's map array here. So what if it's props here? Okay, so C props. Yay. Okay. Now I see where I kind of like casted it to the other type. Yeah, cool. Yeah, children 80. Can we do something with children 80? Yeah, I guess we're not going to. Yeah, so let's remove this. Okay, so what is crashing? Children. Children is empty. Why is children not empty? What's the first child? It's the array. It's a map. So it turned map into map. Interesting. So I think if this would have been something like that, it would have worked. Okay, so we need to do more stuff. Yeah, so it would be cool if I could do something like this. Go lang send array as spread parameter. Array, yeah. Yeah, so why is that not working? Have string props in array. What's the difference? Yeah, so have array reflect all. Oof, 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 oof. This is tough. Okay. Yeah, this is tough.
Take this mild drug and you will have a nice sleep without any nightmares. You're among friends here. You must trust us. You will sleep now.
That okay.
A long sleep.
So it says that I should be able to do something like this, but it doesn't work. So let's say I have an empty array. It's not working. So let's say I have this. Can it use A as any? Why? What's wrong with it? Okay, can use something like this. But not when I have props.
As the sun steps down and it's
Okay,
the day, we'll calmly walk away
props.
when strong
Any.
falls and all else fails. We will build it once again.
Yeah, this way it's can have the optional parameter. Yeah, I don't think Go is that expressive. Go is slightly silly.
When the colors fade and it turns to gray, we'll calmly walk away.
Okay, so if this would have been A, and props. This is fine, and C, children. Nope. Okay, so if A is children and A C props, yeah, I can do something like this. Yeah, this is more than silly. This is more than silly. Okay, so we're making some progress. I'm trying to clean stuff up so I can merge it. Not merge it, commit it. The plan is to merge this. Remove all the comments from here. That's where we trying to figure out the way that it should work. Don't need any of this stuff anymore. Don't need this. Not sure if I need this. Yeah, I probably don't need. Don't need this. Okay, tests are passing. Committed now. So now the plan is to stash everything. Check the test still pass and check that it actually works. Yeah. So now stash pop. I can push all of this stuff now. And let's figure out the rest. This is where the interesting part starts. I don't know if I should keep it for my real stream.
Say the words, even if it hurts. We've been pretending nothing's wrong for far too long. Say it out loud, like you really mean it now. 'Cause this is the last time. We're at the crossroads, and I can't let it go. I try to make you stay, but you're already far away. We're at the crossroads, and I'll let it go. Now I know this much is true. I won't be running after you. to Boston, lives in a world she's lost in, victim of compromise. He's staring at her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's whistling the catacombs, a paradox. He's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. Wasted moments, full of potential atonement. An angel in disguise, but he can see her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. Oh, he's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that
Okay, so now let's compare that buffer.
she's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears.
And we got the VAT route, which is not exactly what we're going for. That's what we're fixing today. So how do you go like so I have this, and there are different. There was also like safety concerns, security, partial. Yes, everything is partial. Interesting.
She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far.
So what does all the HTML mean? Of escape. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could know how to use that. JS escape URL. Query escape. Escape. Yeah, I wonder if I can just clip through stuff and figure out how that escaped. Next, execute. Lock, unlock. Wow. Escape. Error. Escape template. Escape 3. Yeah, all of those are like internal functions. I can't use that. Execute. Template body. Escape conditionally. Right, all of this is internal. Escape list. Output derived call functions. Make escape. Okay. Good name. Function name. HTML escape. HTML stays string. Weight allocation. Interesting. URL query escape. Returns escaped value. Forms. Yeah, everything is zany. Like all of this stuff is zany. Okay, so let's play a bit with that. Type CSS.
Check this out.
Template parse. Template new. Oh. URL escaper. Interesting. Yeah.
Check this out.
Okay, so we have template, CSS, HTML, attribute, JS, URL, source set. Okay, what's that?
Lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone.
Like governor.
Out of sight and out of
Ambiguous context. Wow. Hello. NG021. I don't have a timestamps for chat, so I don't know if that happened like a year, like a year ago or just now, but what are you developing? Okay, this is actually not that easy of a question to answer. And I'm also developing it in Go, which I haven't touched in 11 years. So I'm like learning Go, I'm learning like Go libraries, and I'm trying to do this like fun project. Yeah, so let me figure out how I can make the project back in a running state. I'm doing so many like experiments, so I completely broke everything. Okay, so does it compile? Okay, it does. Okay, so let me go to this thing where the page is defined, and I should just remove. I guess I should just use child instead of page, and maybe it will work. Okay, let's just try it. No. Object is not valid as child. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if I do child here, maybe I also need to do child here. No. I broke more than one thing. Okay, So what about this? No, it's also broken. Okay, then I won't be able to show it. I guess I can. Yeah, can I just stash it? Yeah, okay. Um, um, so let's start. So I have this Go code that I wrote. So I'm saying that, hey, I have a page, and on that page, I have a div. Inside of this div, I have like, hey, my page, and some random ID that I generate on the server. So if I go to about page, it's going to include like the URL. If I go to view page source, it shows like, hey, this is that div, this is that text that I generated. Like all of this is generated on the server, right? So the fun part begins. Oops. So the fun part begins here. If I refresh this page, this is actually React. How do I say it? I don't know how to show it. Like my DevTools don't work for this, but this page is now handled by React. So it's kind of like how in frameworks like Next.js or Remix, where you have data that was generated on the server, but then you can connect it to client React and change it. So the way that it changes right now is that if I go and call this function and say, hey, I want to go back to the index page, it will get this data that it needs for this new page from the server, and it will render it on through React. So this function should be like a link. I broke it for now, but I can go like back and forth, and you see that like it shows new data. So it's 29, 30, 31, and so on. So each of those pages, it just doesn't go to like the previous page, but it actually goes to the server, asks server to render new HTML, and shows that HTML through React. So like what it does React server components. So components are rendered on the server, and React is showing it when page changes, but the page is actually generated with Go instead of React. So like on the backend, I don't have JavaScript running. I only have JavaScript running on the front end. So this is like not the full React server components, but it's kind of like enough to show the point of like, hey, this is how you can have React server components with Go backend. And I haven't touched Go in a long time, so it goes really slowly. But yeah, this is just kind of like fun thing that I'm doing. So the thing that doesn't work right now is like I want to have a link, and my render right now can only render one component with one like text. So I can't add links yet. So this is what I was working on, and I kind of like broke everything. So it's it's not in a state. It's not in a correct state right now. So I'm going through this kind of like templating where there is a div that has hello text. Like how do I render it to HTML? So right now it doesn't work. It returns this like div with ID root, because that's what I generated here, and I need to find a way to do this properly. I can't. I'm trying to use Go templating. Oh yeah, and the fun part is that I was running some benchmarks, and for this case where it just generates like a hello world string, Go version was like 10 times faster than Next.js version, right? So that's kind of like the point to show, hey, it's possible and it's faster, and maybe someone will find it useful. I doubt it. Okay, so so the idea is that right now page is any, but I'm going to say that page is. So first I will rename this function to something like render to string, and I need different thing. So it should be writer instead of buffer. And so page is now a component. Right, to make it a component, we go here. So if we don't do age, it's still age, right? Oops. Yeah. Okay. So page is a component now, and so where's my test? Yeah. All right. Okay. Strike render to string. Okay. So now let's go back here. Yeah, so this is the wrong type now, which is fine. Can I just like cast it to or I guess, okay. So page is now going to be h div id this and shell that. And yeah, I think that will compile. Yeah, so now the test. So what do we want? So we want this. Yeah, it's a template, and that kind of returns error. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with. Let's start with children, I guess. So we're going to pass this. So component has children. Okay. Now it says hello as an array, which is not the best. So, yeah. So I think what we're trying to do is, so you can use like, so I have children here, right? So I can't write something like this with a tag name or whatever it's called, tag type. So I can't do this because it will escape it. So that part should be, don't know what the syntax is, but let's just imagine that it's something like this. No, it's not. So plus. Okay, it's not. Is not constant. It isn't. What's wrong with constants? Okay. Go cat string. Println. Okay, I'm confusion. Right string. Why can't I just plus it? Simplest way is by using plus. Okay. So okay. Okay, I have to run. I still need to figure out how to do all of this stuff. There was a code that I was looking at that was doing this a bit differently. So it was just like, hey, write this, write that. So I wonder if I should do something more in this vein, but I don't know. Okay, bye everyone.